Alright, so my first zombies video, I want to do something that takes it way back to when it first started, and I want to kind of look back at the original map for the mode, and that is Nacht Der Untoten. Now this map is iconic, there's no other way to say it. It is an iconic map. It has appeared in multiple entries in the franchise, as Easter eggs or as maps that have been remastered. People love this map for multitudes of reasons, and I do want to go back and look at it. The footage I do have is of the Chronicles version, which doesn't do it justice because I'm going to be talking mainly about the World at War original version. I couldn't get footage of that, so I apologise, but I do have all the Chronicles DLC, so I can show you the maps in the background. But yeah, let's just get into it. So Nacht Der Untoten in World at War was something you unlocked after you finished the campaign. They did add an update to the game later on, which would make the mode available straight from the main menu, but to get it originally, you had to finish the campaign, and you would pretty much be loaded into it straight away. And it took a lot of people by surprise. You know, this was back in the early days of YouTube and stuff, where not a lot of people posted videos and stuff, and this was like a big thing at the time. The premise is pretty straightforward, you know zombies by now, but basically it's a small map. You have limited weapons, you have the mystery box which gives you random weapons, there's no upgrades, no pack-a-punch, no perks. In this map it is the bare bones zombies experience. 2 guns, and a very small map. One wonder weapon, which was the ray gun, which going back to World at War recently is not as strong as it is nowadays in certain games, but hold out for as long as you can. And that was the goal, right? The goal has since changed with newer maps. There are Easter eggs that let you escape, the newer games allow you to extract, but the bare bones objective of the game mode when it first released was get as high as you can with whatever you have available to you. So moving away from the World at War version for a moment, we have the Black Ops 1 version, which was in the Resurrections pack, which was a pretty good version of the map. It was still kind of very close to the original. There was a mule kick machine on the map, which was your third weapon. But other than that, there was no pack-a-punch, no other perks. It was just, that's what you have mule kick and 3 guns, and it was still very much the same thing. It did later evolve with the Zombies Chronicles version, which is the version I'm playing now, where you had multiple mystery box weapons. There was a thunder gun, a ray gun Mark II, I believe, the monkey bombs, and you had the Wonder Fizz machine, which is basically a machine that gives you a random perk every time you roll it, and the mule kick machine was also on the map as well. Jumping forward from that, we have Die Machine, which is in Cold War. It's not really Nacht, but a big part of that map is the Nacht building. You kind of play around it, and to be honest, it's got a pretty solid camping spot on that map as well, so you're pretty much sitting there the whole time, if you're a player that camps as well. And in Transit in Black Ops 2, it was also a Easter egg area where you had to get one of the parts for the Wonder Weapon, and it was hidden in the cornfield, which was pretty cool. So it has been brought back multiple times, not just as its own map, but it's also been kind of added into others as well. And I think that's a really good thing to do, because it really just kind of shows that they remember where the mode came from by keeping this map in the games in some way. In terms of those future releases though, I will say they're all a lot easier than World at War, for their own reasons. Black Ops 1 had better weapons and the mule kick machine. Black Ops 3 had the gobble gums and the Wonder Fizz, and you could find ways to upgrade your weapons and stuff, so it made it a lot easier. Obviously there was a trade-off with that, like there was more zombies per wave on World at War, which was very limited. And obviously things were just naturally more accessible, but they did kind of, it was still tough, but it was a lot more kind of, you could get high rounds fairly easy just by camping basically. But the World at War version, that was kind of the big thing. Like, I've gone back to play that multiple times in the past like week or two. I've played like 3-4 games of it. My highest is 25. Now I am not happy with that, mainly because I'm so used to the newer games and playing newer games over and over again that I can easily cross that on any map. But I always say World at War Zombies, because it was so bare bones, at least until Doris, it was a lot harder. Like, Nacht Der Untoten, Verrucht, and Shina Numa, well, Shina Numa maybe not, but Nacht and Verrucht in the original World at War were definitely harder maps. And I think that kind of comes down to a few things. Mainly, you get 2 tapped in World at War. One of my first rounds on Nacht Der Untoten and World at War in months, and I completely forgot that zombies can still hit you through barricades in the original Zombies, and I got 2 tapped. On top of that, the guns definitely seem to get a lot weaker, a lot earlier. Like, I was on round maybe 15, 16, the ray gun was a 2 tap, my machine gun was pretty much like down to a lot of bullets in the mag being in the head and still not killing things. I was very much reliant on power-ups, and I would definitely say it's a hard map in the original game. There is strategies to get higher, which I didn't use because I'm not trying to get high round on that map just yet, but I am going to do that. But just to play it casually and to get to a decent round, I think 25 was probably like hard work. Like, compared to nowadays, especially nowadays, that's such an easy round to get to, but World at War Zombies was just a brutal challenge, and that's part of why people like it still so much. Like, it isn't kind of filled with these quest steps and parts you've got to find. It's just guns, zombies, survive, don't die. And sometimes that's all you need, really. Like, you don't need these overcomplicated wonder weapon quests or Easter eggs or bonus weapons to build and stuff like that. You just want to jump in, get 2 guns, and play the map, and that is probably why there's so much appeal with Nacht Der Untoten. But that's pretty much going to do it. There's not a lot to say with the map. Obviously, there is not a lot going on in it, but it is just that original experience that people like so much. Do let me know if you like the map or not. Are you a fan of it? Have you ever gone back to World at War and tried to get like a decent high round? Let me know your highest on Nacht. I'd love to know how far you guys have gone, whether that's in World at War or the Chronicles version of Black Ops 1. And yeah, thank you for watching. Next we'll do Verrucht. I think we're going to do it in kind of release order with these type of videos. That'd be fun. So Verrucht is next. We'll go for World at War, and then we'll move on to Black Ops 1, and then so on and so forth. But yeah, thank you for coming by. Remember to leave a like on the video if you did enjoy, and subscribe if you want new for brand new content. And as always, I'll catch you all in the next one.